What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video, and today we are releasing my 2021 NFL Mock Draft 2.0 post Sam Darnold trade. So usually I have a lot of editing in these mock drafts, but not this week. I won't be able to do that. And also, let me try to move this a little bit so you guys can see more of what's going on. And also, if you guys are Giants fans, you guys are watching my videos, and you guys know I'm a Giants fan, obviously, if you're subscribed to me, my New York Giants 6-round mock draft will be dropping later on this week. That's going to have more editing in it, more formal, as I usually do things, and that will be coming out as normal. But if you guys want early access to that mock draft, go ahead and join the membership link. Well, not the link, with the button is down below. Go ahead and join that membership, and that will be released to you earlier and also more exclusive content. So that being said, guys, let's start off with this mock draft 2.0 post Sam Darnold trade. And so this is already scripted. This is already a draft that I already made. So I'm just gonna show you guys and walk through each pick of my thought process on these picks. And this also has trades in it. You guys can see from the title, it also has trades in it. So we're gonna have 2 trades in this mock draft. It could be more, but we're just gonna have 2 trades in this mock draft. So Trevor Lawrence coming off the board, we'll waste no time. And Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, we are going to waste no time there. Now, this is where the draft begins for the quarterbacks, rather. We don't really know which quarterback is coming off the board, but we know that a quarterback is coming off the board. And in my honest opinion, I got to go Justin Fields here. I love Mac Jones. You guys know the running joke on my channel. Who? Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. But listen, I love myself some Mac Jones, but I just don't see San Francisco going all the way up to 3 and getting Mac Jones and not getting like a Justin Fields in this draft. So I love Mac Jones. I just don't see him going at 3. It could happen, but I don't see him going at 3. So we're going to propose our first trade here, and Atlanta is going to be trading with the Denver Broncos. So from 9 to 4, the Atlanta Falcons are going to trade down, because we all know that, multiple sources came out and said that they are open to to trade. So we're going to have Denver saying, screw it, we are going to go after our quarterback. I know it's the 4th best quarterback on the board, and people may not like that, right, about Denver, giving up on Drew Lock for the 4th best quarterback in this draft. But if you guys look at next year's draft, it's not very good for quarterbacks. So they have to go up and get their quarterback in this draft and trade up to the number 4th overall, the 4th overall pick. You look at the Denver Broncos right now, and they are very close to being competitive. Their roster is not looking terrible at all, and Drew Lock, in my opinion, is not there yet to help that team try to win some games and make a playoff run. So Denver needs a quarterback right away, and Trey Lance should be the guy for them at number 4, and Atlanta is down to number 9. We look at the Cincinnati Bengals at number 5. I know there's a lot of controversy now in recent mock drafts that having Jamar Chase going at number 5 being, the whole Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase connection there at LSU, but I can't see them neglecting the offensive line position. I have to have them taking Penei Sewell here. It's just the only pick that really makes sense for the Cincinnati Bengals. I can't see them going Chase here. I know they have a connection, but I just can't see it. Moving on to the Miami Dolphins, they have a option here with Kyle Pitts and Jamar Chase. It depends on what you see as the best player available. I know Kyle Pitts would be a good fit there in Miami. I know they have Mike Gesicki there, but he's a guy that plays everywhere. Wide receiver, tight end, doesn't matter. Jamar Chase could be a generational wide receiver, and I just have to have them taking Jamar Chase here. I know they addressed wide receiver a little bit with Will Fuller on the 1-year deal. They have a sleeper guy in Preston Williams, and still have Devontae Parker, which we don't really know how long he's going to be there for. So I just have him going safer here with Jamar Chase, wide receiver out of LSU. We move on to the Detroit Lions, and this can be no other pick than wide receiver. They have to go wide receiver in this draft. I know a lot of people are saying quarterback in this draft. They have to go wide receiver in this draft. They lost Marvin Jones, they lost Kenny Golladay, and they addressed that with Rashad Perryman. There's no way you cannot go wide receiver in this draft. If you go quarterback in here and draft the quarterback 7th overall, what takes precedence here? The over $30 million quarterback that you traded for that cost more than the quarterback you already had, who was better than the quarterback you traded for, or starting your 7th overall pick, because at one point, both of them have to start at some point this year. You cannot sit Justin Fields, not Justin Fields, Mac Jones if he's drafted here, because that's the only quarterback really available. You can't draft Mac Jones here and just expect him to sit the whole year while Jared Goff starts. I mean, you drafted the guy 7th overall. I mean, you can't do that. But at the same time, you can't start your 7th overall when you're benching a $30 million quarterback. You just can't do that, okay? So it's not a good situation to be in. So I have the Detroit Lions going Devontae Smith here, wide receiver out of Alabama. Move on to the Carolina Panthers here, and this is a perfect situation here, perfect pick here. Kyle Pitts, it fits a need. It's also best player available, and I could definitely see him in a Carolina Panthers uniform and helping out whatever quarterback is going to be starting for Carolina. I have them missing out on a quarterback here and drafting Kyle Pitts. We move on to the Atlanta Falcons, who traded down from 4 to 9. Now, if they were at 4th overall, they could have gotten Kyle Pitts, but they didn't. Kyle Pitts did not fall to them. So I have them going Patrick Surtain here at number 9. I know a lot of people don't have this pick really because they don't really have Atlanta trading down, but this pick as far as everybody available makes the most sense in my opinion. A lot of people have Micah Parsons going here. I could see that, but I'm going to have Patrick Surtain coming here just because I know they drafted A.J. Terrell last year. Their defense was still Swiss cheese last year. It just doesn't make sense for you to go Micah Parsons here when you still have a clear need on your secondary, and Patrick Surtain is an instant upgrade there. You match him up with A.J. Terrell, and that's a good duo there at cornerback. Moving on to the Dallas Cowboys, I have them going J.C. Horn here. Now, J.C. Horn has been rising up that draft board since Caleb Farley has been, with those injuries, he's been dropping down the draft stock a bit. So J.C. Horn rises up here, and he goes to the Dallas Cowboys 10th overall. We move on to the New York Giants. I have them going Rashawn Slater. He drops to the New York Giants here at number 11. This pick just makes the most sense. I made multiple videos, multiple streams on why Rashawn Slater makes the most sense for the New York Giants, number 11 overall, over a guy like Jalen Waddle. So we move on to number 12, and I know Eagles fans are going to be pissed at this one as well, but in my opinion, Jalen Waddle will not go to the Philadelphia Eagles. How many wide receivers is the Philadelphia Eagles going to draft at, with a first round pick to realize that they have other needs than just wide receiver? They're going to go Micah Parsons here. He could be the best defensive player in this draft, and he falls to you at 12. You have a foundation there on that offense. You drafted Jalen Reagor last year. You have a sleeper guy in Travis Fulgham, if that's his name. You have a foundation there with those wide receivers. You don't have anything going for your defense at all. So getting Micah Parsons here would be a good start. Moving on to the Los Angeles Chargers. We have the Los Angeles Chargers on the clock, and we're going to propose a trade here. Chargers and the Chicago Bears are going to move up to the 20th overall pick, and we're going to have like something similar what the wrong one. We're going to have something similar to what the Bears did in with the Denver Broncos, what they did trading up. So we're going to try this, and it was declined. We're going to skip to us actually getting this pick going. All right, so the trade was accepted, and now the Chicago is on the board at number 13, and they're going to pick up who? Mac Jones. This would be a fantastic trade for both sides. We'll get into why I think that is later on when we get to the Los Angeles Chargers pick, but let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings. I have them. I know they need offensive line help. They really, really do. They need another tackle here. But I'm going to have them switching it up here and going Kwity Paye, the edge rusher out of Michigan. They lost Everson Griffin, I believe. Yeah, they lost Everson Griffin. They lost Odenigbo. All right, so they lost a couple of those guys, those pass rushers, and they can use another pass rusher here that fits a 4-3 defense. There's not a lot of 4-3 guys left to go around in this draft, so they go ahead and pick one up here, Kwity Paye out of Michigan. We move on to the New England Patriots, and they have them getting Jalen Waddle here, wide receiver out of Alabama, as he falls down to 15. Like I said, I could see Philadelphia getting Jalen Waddle here. I know a lot of fans want Jalen Waddle, but they go wide receiver like all the time in these early rounds, and it's not been working out for them. I feel like they need to realize that it's not working out. They need to address other positions, and Micah Parsons could be the best defensive player in this draft. We move on to the Arizona Cardinals. I have them getting Christian Darrisaw here. This is a really good pick for them. They need another tackle. I know they have DJ Humphries, but they need to help out Kyler Murray in the best way they can. Moving on to the Raiders, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think this is a self-explanatory pick here. Now we go to Miami, and I have them taking talent over injury here and getting Jalen Phillips. I know they can go Azeez Ojulari here, but Jalen Phillips could be the best edge rusher in this draft, as long as he doesn't get hurt and he stays in Miami with the Miami Dolphins. Homegrown talent here. Move on to the Washington football team. I have them adjusting their offensive line with Elijah Vera Tucker. We move on to the Los Angeles Chargers, dropping back 7 spots to 20, and I have them getting just in a perfect situation here. They're going ahead and picking up another tackle here, and I know he's ranked very low. I don't know why he is ranked very low, unless he's not. No, I just saw him. Tevin Jenkins, the Oklahoma State offensive tackle. This guy's really been rising as far as his draft stock, and I really like him as well. And they get a good left tackle here. At 20th overall, they're able to pick up some more picks and still get a future franchise left tackle in Tevin Jenkins. So really good pick here by the Chargers. All right, wasting no time, let's go on to the Colts and see what they're going to do. And they're going to address wide receiver, go BPA here, and go Rashad Bateman, the wide receiver out of Minnesota. Now, Tevin Jenkins was available. If the Chargers weren't going to get Tevin Jenkins, I think that would be a slam dunk pick for here for the Indianapolis Colts, as Anthony Costanzo retired, and their philosophy is offensive line over there in Indianapolis. So, but I have them going BPA here and going Rashad Bateman here. Now let's move on to the Tennessee Titans. I have them addressing the cornerback position, and I have them drafting Caleb Farley, the cornerback out of Virginia Tech. Now, I know he's hurt, and this is why he's dropping this far, and I know they need edge rush help, but, they have Janoris Jenkins in there, they have Christian Fulton in there, they don't need to rush Caleb Farley here, but when he does come back, he's going to be a good upgrade there for the Tennessee Titans. All right, we move on to the New York Jets, and, with a defensive-minded head coach in Robert Saleh, why not go after another good edge rusher, another high-ceiling edge rusher out of Georgia, Azeez Ojulari. Good pick here for the New York Jets. They get a quarterback, and they get a guy to rush the quarterback in this first round of the draft. So we move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers now. All right, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock, and I'm going to have a very different move than a lot of people may expect, but I'm going to have the Pittsburgh Steelers going Najee Harris here, the running back out of Alabama. It is very clear that they need a run. They're going to get a running back here in this draft after not re-signing James Conner, and they got Benny Snell, and Benny Snell is not going to get it done. All right, so you see the depth chart here. I'm trying to explain the pick here. I opened up the depth chart so I can explain the pick a little bit, because I know some people are probably going to kill me in the comments, that they want offensive line or defensive line. Christian Barmore is on the board, but I think Najee Harris getting clearly the best running back in this draft class would be a big upgrade for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and get that running game back going and help Ben Roethlisberger or Dwayne Haskins or whoever's going to be starting, help them out a little bit and not have them throw the ball constantly. So we move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm going to have them drafting possibly the best linebacker on the in the draft, possibly in Zaven Collins, linebacker out of Tulsa. They need defensive help in so many ways, and they get it here. We move on to the Cleveland Browns here, and I'm going to have them drafting. I'm looking for his name here. I'm going to have right here. Greg Rousseau, the edge rusher out of Miami, Florida. Now, this is where I see him going around the late first round. And him, if they can get potential out of him, this guy reminds me a lot of Olivier Vernon, in my opinion. So, for them to get another Olivier Vernon in here with Myles Garrett would be a good move here. We move on to the Baltimore Ravens. I have them getting Terrace Marshall Jr., wide receiver out of LSU. Very slam dunk pick there. Ran a 4.39 or 4.38 40-yard dash, and is also a deep threat wide receiver. Also a taller 50-50 ball wide receiver. Great option there for Lamar Jackson to help him out a bit. Moving on to the New Orleans Saints, I have them going defense in this draft. I usually have them going Kadarius Toney here because I love mixing in Kadarius Toney with Alvin Kamara. But I'm going to have them going Greg Newsome here, the cornerback out of Northwestern. They're going to need some cornerback help soon. They don't have very much good depth there. They have old man Patrick Robinson starting alongside Marshawn Lattimore, so they can use some more cornerbacks there in New Orleans. We move on to the Green Bay Packers, another no-brainer pick here. Wyatt Davis, the offensive guard out of Ohio State. They need interior offensive line help to help out Aaron Rodgers a bit. We're going to have the Buffalo Bills drafting Pat Freiermuth, the tight end out of Penn State. This guy needs to be a first-round pick, man. The fact that he is not, and, he's a better prospect in my opinion, than, like, O.J. Howard was back in, 2017, where he was drafted, like, 20th overall, 19th overall, something like that, to the Buccaneers. Pat Freiermuth is a better prospect, but he's falling, man. Well, he's not falling, but he just never rose up to mid first round. But I think this is a round where he would go, and I know they need a running game, but I don't think Travis Etienne would be drafted here. So Pat Freiermuth goes out here out of Penn State. We move on to the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm gonna have them drafting tackle here after letting go of two of their tackles. If I can find them here, we're gonna be drafting Liam Eichenberg, the tackle out of Notre Dame. I really like this guy on film, so really underrated too, in my opinion. He's not being talked about enough, and I have him slipping into the first round. And then last but not least, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers eventually replacing Ndamukong Suh with Christian Barmore. So that's what I see. I mean, with Ndamukong Suh coming out, Christian Barmore, Vita Vea, JPP, and Shaquille Barrett, it's like their defensive line never left. So you're just rotating in some D-line talent there. So that is my full mock draft, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll give you a quick little rundown here about where we had the trade going on with Denver and Atlanta. We had the trade going on with Chicago and the Chargers, and it seemed like it really worked out for all sides. We had Caleb Farley dropping to 22, really good pick there. Azeez Ojulari, Najee Harris coming off the board to Pittsburgh, Gregory Rousseau finding a home in Cleveland, and Barmore and Pat Freiermuth getting into the first round to the Buffalo Bills. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.